Hey guys, how are you? This is Caitlin, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the movie Super 8, which was produced by J.J. Abrams, the creator of Lost, as well as Steven Spielberg. This video is intended mostly for people that have already seen the film, but I'm not going to be giving away too much. It's going to be pretty vague, and if I mention something about the movie, it's something that's kind of common knowledge amongst the whole geeky community anyway. But if you prefer to wait until you've seen the movie, make sure you hit the favorites button below, and then come back and watch this video once you have seen the movie. That said, I would say that Super 8 was overall an amazing film. There was a lot of emotion, there was some great acting on the children's part. It was sort of like an angry Close Encounters meets E.T., but also a little bit of a taste of the Dharma Initiative in there from Lost. I said the Dharma Initiative because it was a very well-kept secret, and it was something that was discovered by the kids by watching film strips, which was very Pierre Chang-esque. I would definitely say that the film smelled a little bit of Lost. I mean, it had Michael Giacchino as its main soundtrack producer. I love his music, so I was totally fine with that. But you definitely felt the violins and some of the piano. It was basically your typical alien movie, which I'm pretty sure it's common knowledge now that the monster is an alien. And it was your basic story where the alien comes to Earth and then the alien is in pursuit of going home. And the ending was, as to be expected, the alien going home. But in a movie as cliche as this, I think that it's not so much the story, but how the story is told. I think that a lot of the sentiment and the emotion that came from the movie was because of the fact that most of your main characters were children, which is unlike Close Encounters because the main character is an adult. A child's character is always more adventurous, always more raw, always more honest, and always equally curious as the audience members are. The friendship between the children was very interesting. They all had a very different dynamic that they brought to the group, and I also found it cool that each of the characters had a backstory of interests that they liked. Like Joe really liked to make models. And the relationship between Joe and Alice was very genuine because of the fact that it was innocent and they were both children, like I said, whereas if these were adult characters, you may have thought that they had ulterior motives. I love the fact that David Gallagher from Seventh Heaven played the stoner. I love the fact that one of the army guys was played by the best friend in The Truman Show. There are two things that I have really to criticize about the film. The character of the alien. I mean, you spend the whole movie being scared or being angry at the monster, and I liked that you didn't know what it was for a really long time. But no matter what, your emotions towards the alien throughout the whole movie, up until towards the end, were negative. And then suddenly you feel bad for it when it speaks to Joe. And so there's too quick of a change in emotion there. Personally, I think that the alien should have been developed more as a character. In this movie, as soon as you realize that the alien was good or not really intending to do harm, the movie's over. So we don't really have time to sort of relish in those emotions of positivity towards the alien. I think we should have been able to get to know the alien as well as we got to know the kids. The second thing that I didn't really like about the movie was the ending. A lot of people said that, so I started thinking maybe I wouldn't say that, but I have to agree. The thing that I didn't like was that I didn't realize he was building a ship with all that stuff, like the toasters and whatever. It just sort of happened. I knew that the alien's goal was to go home, but maybe there should have been some type of story where the kids help him go home, sort of like E.T. I think maybe that's why people are calling it anticlimactic. I wouldn't say it was a bad ending. I would just say that it was sort of passive, that you didn't really realize what was happening. There's a very emotional moment at the end where Joe lets go of the locket that his mother wore, but I think that sort of made the plot of the movie more about Joe and the kids and Joe's whole story of losing his mother. And I just don't think that's what the movie was about. I think the movie was about how the alien sort of brought them together as friends and made them realize that not everything is as you first see it. But like I said, this is a product of its producers, and all in all, I loved it. So what did you guys think of Super 8? Leave your comments below. I really do want to know. Would you have changed the things that I would have changed? Would you have changed something differently? Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, what's that about? Why don't you just do that right now? You guys rock. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.